Hi, welcome to K Warner Studio. Thank you for joining me today. Today we have a project. This is the second project, or the second item in the Valentine 2017 series. It's a miniature cup or mug, depending on how you want to look at it. Chocolate will fit in there nicely. I've done one. This was the mock-up, and I tried it with this one. It worked fine. This has a larger base. This has a smaller base, and you can put candies in them. Stand them up, little cello bag. So let's get rocking and rolling and get this project done. So you need one piece of paper. This is 5 3/4 by 3.5 inches, and a second piece that's 1 by 3. You also need 2 pieces of scrap that are coordinating colors to this cardstock for the base, and they need to be 2-inch square, unless you're going to make a bigger base, and then you'll need 3-inch square. So let's get the score tool and get this going. So we're going to place the paper in a landscape mode, or with the longest part up in the corner of the score tool, and we're going to make a series of score marks. So in this particular piece of paper, if you have a directional paper, that needs to be pointing up. Okay, so let's get going. So the first score mark is going to be at 7/8 of an inch, 1 3/4 inches, 2 5/8, 3.5, 4 3/8, and 5 1/4 inches. And then you're going to rotate it, and if you had a directional print, that print would be facing left. At 1 inch you're going to score, and the last one for this piece of paper is at 2 1/4. Now we're going to get in our 1 by 3, and we're going to put the shortest section up, and this is in portrait mode, and we're going to score at 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 3/4 inches. And that's it for scoring. So we'll put that away. Okay, so we're going to turn this over. Now that you can see this has half of me and all of that, the writing on the back. Now you can use it that side if you wish, or this side, but I'd like to keep this side, so we're going to use that side. But I'll turn it over so you can see the score marks there. Okay, so on the edge that's the narrowest row, so that would be here on my edge, because these are all the same size except for this last row. And we're going to cut a kitty corner at the top, just to the score line, because we're taking a wedge out. We're taking a wedge on the other side of this box, the end of it, and then the top of the next one, and then the bottom, just going right to that first score line, and then we're going to remove this box on the bottom, this rectangle. So that's it. And now we're going to cut up each line. So here is a diagram. So you're going to cut the corners off here, remove this last section, and then cut up every one of these. And I like to trim it so a little bit of the bulk gets out of there, so everything folds up better. So you can do that or not. It just means just cutting out a little wedge out of each one. I'm going to have to turn that over because it's hard to see on both sides on this particular print. Just up to the score line. Okay. There we go. So then I'll just trim those all out of there. Okay, so I remove that. So then the next thing that we're going to do, I'll leave that card there for you, is we're just going to do the burnish. Make sure that the horizontal lines are straight, just the first one. And then burnish these lines too, the vertical ones. Not worrying about the flap here. Okay, so the next one that we're going to do is put a little mark, a 1/2 inch from the bottom here on the first one, because you're going to run adhesive or glue some kind of strong adhesive right down to your mark. Fold that over. I'm going to trim this flap down so that they're both the same size. And this would be a good time to burnish this top one, but also to run your bone folder around here to give this some flexibility. So when we put it together, it lays nice. So now we want to put adhesive on both sides of this flap. So now we just have one flap left because we folded it over. And then we're going to thread this one through in here, the spot where we did not put the adhesive all the way to the end. And that's why, because this tucks in and you won't see it. Okay, you just push that down so that the ends meet. There we go. So there's my joint. This is now the back. So now you're going to splay these all out like this. Have your seam here, that's the back. So where your seam is, that's number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay, so we're going to put adhesive on those first 3, counting the one that is directly on the seam. Okay, so that's that. Now we turn it upside down, and we don't use number 1. Instead, we go to number 2, and then the one directly behind it. You match those up so that they go just like that. Now we do number 3, and the one across from that one goes. And now we do number 1, and number 6 folds over. So there you have it. Nothing to it. Okay, so now we have our handle. We're going to burnish all of these. And we're going to put a narrow tape adhesive. You can use glue if you like. And you're going to put adhesive on the first one and on the last little area there. Okay, I'm just going to burnish that tape down so that the backer will remove easily. So we take that off and this off, and now we fold that over. And then the last one over, so they meet in the middle. They look like an old piece of gum used to. Okay, and now we're going to fold those over. And if you've got any that feels like they're with bulk, because this is a good weight cardstock. And just try to trim that down. There we go. Now we are going to put our strong adhesive again down the edge of this. There we go. Fold it in, and that's our handle. Now we're going to burnish that down so it's nice and flat, and then we're going to work it with the bone folder so that it curls. There we go. And now we look at it. We're going to put some fast fuse or another nice strong adhesive on the top here. We're going to put that on the side where the seam is, and we're going to press. There we go. Now we're going to put some on this one on the bottom. There we go. And we're going to roll that under, and we're going to place that like that. See? So now we have a handle. And while you have this good adhesive, you might want to take your liquid glue. This just gives it a hold so that you don't have to hold it the whole time while you get that glue in there. There we go. So we'll hold that like that. And put a little bit up here so that will hold. Hold that up there. There we go. So we've got those two holding on nice and strong for us. There we go. And then we're going to do some die cutting here for a second. That there. I'll get the die cutting machine. There we go. So here's my pieces. I'm going to cut with the Scalloped fancy die and a tag from CC Designs. I'm going to run that through. We're going to get the ivory because there's ivory in our paper. And we're going to cut a second tag. And the dotted stackables now, small stackables by Fawn. And we're going to run that through. There we go. Then we'll put this back. Okay, so our stamp set that we're using is by Sunny Studio, and it is called My Love, Sending My Love. And it's cute because it has a bunny, a cat, a bear, and a dog. So any kind of animal lover will like this stamp set. It has matching dies. And yeah, so we'll get this going. So I've already mounted my stamps. And so there's our dotted circle. And here's the scallop circle. And we're going to attach that. And that will just go right on top of this scallop. Looks nice. There we go. And here's our nice pinky, dark pinky musky, is that what it's called? Dusty rose, that's what they used to call it. That's what it reminds me of. And this is Hollyhock ink by Simon Says. And we're going to ink up that happy and put that right here. And we're going to take the Valentines. It's nice penmanship, nice writing on this. And we're going to put that right down here. There we go. And we're going to put our rope here. I'm just going to put the pink behind this one. I got this little heart that it cuts out. And that's what the die for the tag cut that out on its own. So we'll leave that like that. And then you just put your glue here on the bottom of your little mug. And you lay that on top of your dotted small circle die. So we'll put that like that. And then we will attach this wonderful little Happy Valentine's to the mug. And we're going to make a loop here, a bow. And those are a little big, so we'll size it down a little bit. You just pull the strings and then pull that in again. So we've got that hanging there. And then we'll put our little chocolate in there. And here we are. There's our complete little mug. Isn't that cute? So I hope you give it a try. So thank you so much for joining me today and taking time out of your very busy day to spend it with me. If you have any questions about this project or suggestions for anything else you'd like to see, please do not hesitate to leave it in the comments below. Bye-bye, and thank you for watching.